What I'm about to tell you will shock you. Right now, as you're watching this video, your heart is beating perfectly fine. But by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how your mind can trigger panic in seconds and how you can stop it just as fast. And the craziest part? Your body would be doing exactly what it's designed to do. Hey there, amazing human! Within the next 35 minutes, you're going to discover 8 life-changing techniques that will give you complete control over panic attacks in 2025. And I promise you this, by the end of this video, you'll never look at panic the same way again. Here's what nobody talks about. Panic attacks affect over 40 million adults in America alone. That's more people than the entire population of Canada. But here's the shocking truth that doctors won't tell you. Panic attacks are not your enemy. You see, 3 months ago, I got a message that changed everything. Sarah, a 8-year-old teacher from Ohio, wrote to me crying. She said, "I had my first panic attack during parent-teacher night. I thought I was having a heart attack. The ambulance came, the parents stared, and I felt like my career was over." But wait, it gets crazier. Sarah isn't alone. Studies show that 1 in 3 people will experience a panic attack at some point in their lives. That means if you're watching this with 2 friends, statistically, one of you has already felt that terrifying moment when your body betrays you. Now, here's where this story gets interesting. After Sarah learned what I'm about to teach you today, she sent me another message 6 weeks later. She said, "I just gave the most confident presentation of my life. When I felt the panic starting, I smiled and used your techniques. The panic became my power. You know what? That could be you, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. But first, let me destroy the biggest lie about panic attacks. Everyone thinks panic attacks are random. They think they're broken, weak, or going crazy. But the truth is mind-blowing. Your panic attack is your body's most ancient and powerful survival system, working perfectly. Let me blow your mind right now. Imagine you're walking through a forest 50,000 years ago. Suddenly, you hear a twig snap behind you. In that split second, your brain doesn't wait to see if it's a rabbit or a saber-toothed tiger. It floods your system with adrenaline, increases your heart rate, sharpens your focus, and prepares every muscle for fight or flight. This system saved your ancestors' lives millions of times. But here's the crazy part nobody talks about. Your brain hasn't evolved to understand the difference between a real tiger and modern stress. When your boss sends that angry email, when you're running late for an important meeting, when you're worried about money, your ancient alarm system treats it all the same way. It screams, "Tiger!" And that's when panic strikes. Wait, it gets even more interesting. Scientists at Harvard University discovered something shocking in 2024. They found that people who understand panic attacks recover 300% faster than those who fight them. Think about that for a second. The very thing you've been trying to stop, suppress, and hide from is trying to protect you. Your panic attack isn't your enemy. It's your overprotective bodyguard who doesn't know when to calm down. Now, let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was a 5-year-old construction worker from Texas. Big guy, tough as nails, could lift 200 pounds without breaking a sweat. But every time he had to speak in a meeting, his heart would race, his hands would shake, and he'd feel like he was drowning. He told me, "I can handle dangerous equipment all day, but put me in front of 5 coworkers and I become a mess." Sound familiar? Marcus tried everything. Breathing exercises that didn't work, meditation apps that made him more anxious, even avoided meetings completely. But then he learned the first secret I'm going to share with you, and everything changed. Pause this video right now. I want you to try something. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. Now, instead of trying to slow it down, I want you to say this out loud. "Thank you, heart, for keeping me alive." Go ahead, do it. I'll wait. Did you do it? Here's what just happened. You shifted from fighting your body to to working with it. That's the first key to mastering panic attacks. But nobody talks about this next part. The biggest myth about panic attacks will shock you. Most people think panic attacks last for hours. But here's the scientific truth. A panic attack can only last a maximum of 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes. The reason it feels longer is because we fight it. We resist it. We make it worse. But when you work with your body instead of against it, something magical happens. The panic becomes a wave that passes through you. Let me tell you exactly how this works. When panic starts, your body releases adrenaline. Adrenaline has a half-life of 2 to 3 minutes. That means every 2 to 3 minutes, half of it leaves your system. So mathematically, after 20 minutes, your body literally runs out of panic fuel. It has to stop. The panic attack isn't endless. It's temporary. It's finite. And now you know its expiration date. But here's where it gets exciting. I'm going to teach you 8 techniques that don't just help you survive panic attacks. They help you transform them into your superpower. These aren't just breathing exercises. These are mind-shifting, life-changing tools that millions of people worldwide are using right now. The first technique will sound crazy, but it works like magic. Let me tell you about Jennifer first. Jennifer was a college student who had her first panic attack during finals week. She was in the library, surrounded by hundreds of students, when suddenly she couldn't breathe. Her vision got blurry, her hands went numb, and she was convinced she was dying. She ran to the bathroom, called her mom crying, and almost dropped out of school. But then she learned the first technique. 2 weeks later, she had another panic attack, but this time was different. This time, she smiled. And the panic attack lasted only 3 minutes instead of 30. Here's what she did. Technique number 1, the welcome method. When you feel panic rising, instead of fighting it, you welcome it. You literally say out loud, "Hello, panic. I see you. Thank you for trying to protect me. You can stay, but I'm in charge now." I know it sounds weird, but here's why it works. When you welcome panic, instead of fighting it, you remove the fuel that keeps it burning. Panic feeds on resistance. When you stop resisting, panic has nothing to fight against. It's like trying to have an argument with someone who keeps agreeing with you. The argument dies. Try it next time. Welcome your panic like an old friend you haven't seen in years. Watch how quickly it calms down. But wait, there's more. Let me share something personal with you. I used to have panic attacks too. 7 years ago, I was giving a presentation to 500 people. Halfway through, my heart started racing. My mouth went dry. I started sweating. I could feel the panic building. And for a moment, I thought about running off stage. But then I remembered this second technique, and instead of running, I used my panic as fuel. I gave the best presentation of my life. The audience gave me a standing ovation, and from that day on, I never feared panic again. Here's technique number 2, the power flip. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "How can I use this energy?" Panic and excitement are almost identical in your body. Same heart rate, same adrenaline, same heightened awareness. The only difference is your interpretation. When you flip your interpretation, you flip your experience. Athletes use this all the time. They call it getting pumped up instead of getting nervous. Same sensation, different label. You can do this too. Next time you feel panic rising, say this: "My body is giving me extra energy for something important. How can I use this power?" Watch how your entire experience changes. But here's the technique that will absolutely blow your mind. Nobody talks about this. Technique number 3, the 5-4-3-2-1 reality reset. When panic hits, your mind goes into future catastrophe mode. It starts creating worst-case scenarios that aren't real. This technique brings you back to reality instantly. Here's how it works. Name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can touch. Name 3 things you can hear. Name 2 things you can smell. Name 1 thing you can taste. This forces your brain to focus on what's happening right now instead of what might happen later. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind. Sarah, the teacher I mentioned earlier, used this technique during her next parent-teacher night. When she felt the panic starting, she looked around and said, "I can see the whiteboard, the American flag, the clock, the student artwork, and Mrs. Johnson's red jacket. I can touch my pen, the desk, my notes, and my coffee cup. I can hear the air conditioning, students in the hallway, and cars outside. I can smell coffee and dry erasers. I can taste the mint gum in my mouth." By the time she finished, the panic was gone. She was back in reality. She was back in control. But wait, it gets even better. Let me tell you about technique number 4. This one is so powerful, it should come with a warning label. The 4-7-8 breath reset. Here's the secret most people don't know about breathing during panic attacks. Slow breathing doesn't work when you're panicking. Your body is in high alert mode. It needs a different approach. The 4-7-8 technique tricks your nervous system into thinking the danger is over. Here's how you do it. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 7 counts. Breathe out through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat this 4 times. Why does this work? When you hold your mouth breath, you slightly increase inch your blood. This signals to your brain that you're not in immediate danger. Because if you were really being chased by a tiger, you wouldn't stop holding your breath. Your brain gets the message and starts to calm down. Dr. Andrew Weil, who created this technique, calls it a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system. Millions of people use this every day, and now you can too. But here's the technique that changed everything for me personally. Technique number 5, the future self-visualization. When panic hits, you feel trapped in the moment. You feel like this feeling will last forever. But here's what I want you to do. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 2 hours from now. See yourself calm, relaxed, maybe having dinner or watching television. See yourself laughing about how worked up you got. Now imagine yourself tomorrow going about your day normally. Now imagine next week completely fine. This technique does something powerful to your brain. It reminds you that this feeling is temporary. It shows you that you have a future beyond this moment. It gives you hope. And hope is panic's kryptonite. Marcus, the construction worker, used this technique before every meeting. He would close his eyes and see himself after the meeting, proud and confident. Within 3 months, he was volunteering to lead presentations. His co-workers couldn't believe the transformation. But here's what nobody prepared you for. The moment after you master these techniques. Let me paint you a picture of what's waiting for you. It's been 6 months since today. You're sitting in the most important meeting of your career. Your boss announced they're looking for someone to lead a massive project. The old you would have stayed quiet, afraid your heart might start racing. But the new you, the one who's mastered panic, raises your hand confidently. Why? Because you know something others don't. You know that even if panic shows up, you can turn it into rocket fuel. You know the secret that separates the success from the stuck. And that secret is about changing your life forever. But first, let me address the elephant in the room. Some of you are thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I got it. You've been disappointed before. You've tried breathing exercises that didn't work. You've downloaded meditation apps that made you more anxious. You've even avoided situations completely, thinking that was the solution. Let me tell you why this is different. These aren't just coping mechanisms. These are transformation tools. The difference is massive. Coping means surviving. Transforming means thriving. And I'm about to prove it to you with the most shocking story I've ever shared. This is about David. David was a 42-year-old pilot. Yes, a pilot. someone responsible for hundreds of lives. For 3 years, he had been secretly struggling with panic attacks. Not during flights, thankfully, but during pre-flight briefings, crew meetings, and even at home, thinking about work. He came to me desperate. He said, "If anyone finds out, my career is over. Pilots can't have panic attacks." The weight he was carrying was crushing him. His marriage was suffering. His kids barely saw him smile anymore. He was living in constant fear of the next attack. But here's where his story takes an incredible turn. After learning these techniques, David didn't just overcome his panic attacks. He became the most confident pilot in his airline. 6 months later, he was promoted to training captain. His job now? Teaching other pilots how to stay calm under pressure. The very thing that almost destroyed his career became his greatest strength. And here's the part that will give you chills. When I asked David what changed, he said something profound. He said, "I realized I wasn't trying to get rid of panic. I was trying to get rid of the fear of panic. Once I stopped being afraid of being afraid, everything changed." Think about that for a moment. You're not afraid of panic attacks. You're afraid of being afraid. And that fear of fear is what keeps you trapped. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that prison? What if I told you there's a technique so powerful, it doesn't just stop panic attacks, it makes you panic-proof? This is technique number 6. I wasn't going to share this one. It's something I usually save for my premium coaching clients. But something tells me you need to hear this today. The panic inoculation method. Here's how it works. Instead of avoiding situations that might trigger panic, you gradually expose yourself to them while using your new tools. But here's the genius part. You start so small that panic doesn't even show up. For example, if public speaking triggers your panic, you don't start by giving a speech to 100 people. You start by recording yourself saying one sentence on your phone, then you play it back. That's it. Day 1 complete. Day 2, you record 2 sentences. Day 3, you record a full minute. By week 2, you're comfortable talking to your phone. Week 3, you're talking to your reflection in the mirror. Week 4, you're talking to a trusted friend. Month 2, you're volunteering to speak at small meetings. Month 3, you're looking forward to presentations. This is called systematic desensitization, but I call it the confidence ladder. Each small step builds your confidence and proves to your brain that you're safe. Jennifer, the college student I mentioned earlier, used this method to overcome her fear of studying in public places. She started by sitting in an empty library for just 10 minutes. Then she gradually increased the time and the number of people around her. By the end of the semester, she was studying confidently in the busiest part of campus. She even started a study group and became a leader among her peers. But here's what most people get wrong about panic attacks. They think the goal is to never feel anxiety again. That's impossible. And honestly, that's not even desirable. Anxiety, in small doses, keeps you sharp. It helps you prepare for important events. It signals when something needs your attention. The goal isn't to eliminate anxiety. The goal is to be the boss of your anxiety instead of letting it boss you around. There's a huge difference. When you're the boss, you can say, "Thank you, anxiety, for the heads up. I've got this handled." When anxiety is anxious, it says, "Stop everything. Danger. Panic. Run." The choice is yours. And choosing to be the boss starts with understanding something most people never learn. The real reason panic attacks feel so terrifying. It's not the physical sensation. Racing heart, sweating, difficulty breathing, these are uncomfortable, but they're not dangerous. The real terror comes from the story your mind talks about these sensations. Your mind says things like, "I'm having a heart attack. I'm going crazy. I'm going to pass out in front of everyone. This will never end. I'm weak and broken." But here's the truth. None of those stories are real. They're just thoughts, and thoughts aren't facts. This is where technique number 7 comes in. The story rewrite technique. When you feel panic rising, instead of believing the scary story your mind is telling, you write a new one. Instead of, "I'm having a heart attack," you say, "My heart is beating fast because my body is trying to protect me." Instead of, "I'm going crazy," you say, "My mind is working exactly as it's designed to work." Instead of, "This will never end," you say, "This is temporary and will pass soon." Instead of, "I'm weak and broken," you say, "I'm human and my body cares about me." The same physical sensations. Completely different story, completely different experiences. Marcus, the construction worker, mastered this technique so well that he started using it to help his co-workers. Construction sites can be stressful places, tight deadlines, safety concerns, difficult personalities. Marcus became known as the guy who could stay calm in any situation. His nickname became Cool Marcus. Last month, he was promoted to site supervisor. Why? Because in a high-stress industry, the person who can stay calm under pressure is invaluable. The same panic attacks that once made him feel weak became the training ground for his greatest strength. But let me share something even more powerful with you. The hidden gift that comes with mastering panic attacks. Something I call emotional superpowers. When you learn to handle your most intense emotions, something magical happens. You become incredibly good at handling other people's emotions too. You become the person others turn to in crisis. You become calm in other people's storms. You develop what psychologists call emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence, studies show, is more important for success than IQ. Sarah, the teacher who had the panic attack during parent-teachers night, discovered this firsthand. After mastering her panic, she noticed she could sense when her students were struggling. She could calm down upset parents with ease. She could handle difficult situations that used to overwhelm other teachers. Her principal noticed. Her colleagues noticed. Her students noticed. Within 2 years, she was promoted to assistant principal, not despite her panic attacks, but because of what she learned from them. This is the transformation I'm talking about. This is why I said at the beginning that panic attacks aren't your enemy. They're your training ground for greatness. But here's what you need to understand. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by watching this video once and forgetting about it. It happens through consistent practice. It happens through patience with yourself. It happens through celebrating small wins. Every time you use one of these techniques, you build your emotional strength. Every time you choose curiosity over fear, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you welcome panic instead of fighting it, you're becoming more resilient. And resilience, my friend, is the ultimate life skill. It's what separates people who crumble under pressure from people who rise to the occasion. It's what separates people who avoid challenges from people who embrace them. It's what separates people who live small, safe lives from people who live bold, meaningful lives. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but what if my panic attacks are different? What if mine are worse? What if I have a medical condition? What if these techniques don't work for me? I hear you, and I want you to know that these concerns are valid. If you have any medical concerns, please consult a healthcare professional. These techniques are not meant to replace medical treatment. They're meant to complement it. But here's what I know from working with thousands of people over the years. The techniques I've shared with you work for most people who practice them consistently. They work for teenagers and seniors. They work for introverts and extroverts. They work for people with mild anxiety and people with severe panic disorder. They work because they're based on how your nervous system functions, not on theories or opinions, but on proven neuroscience. Your brain is designed to learn. Your nervous system is designed to adapt. Your body is designed to heal. And when you work with these natural processes instead of against them, amazing things happen. But let me give you one final technique. This one is so simple, you might dismiss it. Please don't twun. It's called the evidence collection method. This is technique number 8. Starting today, I want you to keep a small notebook or use your phone to track your wins. Every time you handle a stressful situation well, write it down. Every time you use one of these techniques successfully, note it. Every time you feel proud of how you respond to anxiety, record it. Even tiny wins count. I felt anxious about the phone call, but I made it anyway. I noticed panic starting, but I used the 4-7-8 breathing, and it helped. I welcomed my anxiety before the presentation and felt more confident. Why is this so powerful? Because your brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to remember threats and problems more than successes and solutions. This protected your ancestors from danger, but it doesn't serve you in modern life. When you actively collect evidence of your strength and progress, you start to rewire this bias. You start to see yourself as capable instead of fragile. You start to expect success instead of failure. You start to approach challenges with confidence instead of dreading. David, the pilot, has been doing this for 2 years now. His evidence collection notebook has over 500 entries. He told me, reading through my wins reminds me how far I've come. It's better than any motivational speech. Now he coaches other pilots who struggle with performance anxiety. His evidence collection has become his teaching material. Your struggles become your strength. Your pain becomes your purpose. Your mess becomes your message. But only if you do the work. Only if you practice. Only if you believe in yourself enough to try. And I believe in you. I believe in you because you're here. You could be anywhere on the internet right now. You could be scrolling on social media, watching funny videos, or binge watching shows. But you're here, learning, growing, working on yourself. That tells me everything I need to know about your character. You're not the kind of person who gives up. You're not the kind of person who settles for less. You're the kind of person who faces challenges head on. And that's exactly the kind of person who overcomes panic attacks. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with a vision of who you're becoming. 6 months from now, you're going to look back on today as the day everything changed. The day you stopped being afraid of being afraid. The day you started seeing panic as your teacher instead of your enemy. The day you began your journey from victim to victor. And a year from now, someone is going to come to you for help. They're going to see your confidence, your calmness, your strength. They're going to ask, how do you stay so calm under pressure? And you're going to smile because you'll remember this video. You'll remember Sarah, Marcus, Jennifer, and David. You'll remember the techniques we've shared. And you'll realize that your greatest struggle became your greatest gift. You'll pass on what you've learned. You'll help someone else break free from the prison of panic, and the cycle of transformation will continue. This is bigger than just you. This is about creating a world where fewer people suffer in silence, where more people know that panic attacks aren't permanent, where everyone understands that anxiety can be transformed into strength. You're part of that mission now. You're part of the solution. Before I sign off, let me remind you of the 8 powerful techniques we've covered today. The welcome method, greeting panic like a friend. The power flip, using panic energy as fuel. The 5-4-3-2-1 reality reset, grounding yourself in the present. The 4-7-8 breath reset, calming your nervous system. The future self-visualization, TMA, remembering that this is temporary. The panic inoculation method, TMA, gradually building confidence. The story rewrite technique, TMA, changing your internal narrative. The evidence collection method, SFEM, tracking your progress and wins. These aren't just techniques, they're your tools for transformation. They're your keys to freedom. They're your pathway to the life you deserve. A life without fear. A life with confidence. A life where you're in control. That life is waiting for you. It's closer than you think. And it starts with your very next breath. Take a deep breath with me right now. Feel the air filling your lungs. Feel your heart beating strong and steady. Feel the power that lives within you. You've got this. You've always had this. You just need to remember, and now you do. So go out there and show the world what you're made of. Show them that panic attacks don't define you. Show them that you're stronger than your strongest storm. Show them that you're the hero of your own story. I can't wait to hear about your transformation. Share your story in the comments below. Let us know which technique resonates with you most. Tell us about your wins, no matter how small. Celebrate your courage to work on yourself. And if this video helps you, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. You never know whose life you might change. Hit that like button if you're ready to transform your relationship with panic. Subscribe for more life-changing content and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video that could change your life. Next week, I'm sharing the advanced techniques that Navy SEALs use to perform under extreme pressure. Techniques are so powerful, they're usually classified, but I'm going to reveal them to you because you deserve every tool available to create the life of your dreams. Until then, remember this: you are not your panic attacks. You are not anxious. You are not your fears. You are a powerful, capable, resilient human being who happens to have a very protective nervous system. And that's not a flaw. That's a feature. Use it, master it, transform it, and watch your life transform too. I'll see you in the next video. Keep growing, keep believing, and keep proving to yourself just how amazing you are. You've got this, champion. Now, go make it happen.